Chronic pain, the inner demon, back with another one. Now, folks, I've been rumbling over this case. I think I came to a conclusion as far as asking this question, and also know how to ask it without bias. Will YNW Melly end up being acquitted from this trial? Number one, the phone evidence. Yes, that was the only thing, but it's not that strong. Number two, their best witness is the sergeant that's on the stand right now. Take a listen, folks.
When those shots were fired?
I don't have an opinion. I would say that they're not even methodical. They're scattered. There's no grouping with them. There's no methodical reason to it. It's senseless firing into a vehicle.
Okay. And in terms of which of these I, J, K, L, N, O, or P goes through and strikes the driver's side rear door? Do you know which of those that was?
Can I look at my report?
If you need to refresh your recollection, please. Regards to the length of his arm, why do you say you have to have Inspector Gadget length arm to get that shot on Anthony Williams?
Because you would have to. It would be a very awkward position that his wrist is, no human wrist is simply capable of being in order to reach around, extend it out, and pull the trigger.
Okay. In terms of the intervening objects, how does that help you in saying where that firearm had to have been?
The firearm had to have been due to the headliner being there. I'm sorry, the head rest being there. That all puts it all in line with the backseat driver passenger.
Okay. In terms of the angle for the driver to get the shot on Christopher Thomas, is that possible?
No.
Why not?
Because the injury to Christopher Thomas's cheek is an exact circle, and if Cortland Henry is pointing back from the driver's seat to the direction of the position of Christopher Thomas, you would expect to see a leading edge injury to his cheek instead of a perfectly circle on his cheek.
Okay.
On top of it, you would see more blood on the seat that Cortland Henry was sitting in for both. If he were to make both shots of those two individuals, there would be a substantial amount of blood on his seat.
Now, speaking about the rear passenger, can you tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury or identify who was in that seat?
The rear passenger,
Yes.
driver's side,
Yes.
I was advised that it was.
So, without going into that, in terms of what you were advised, can you say, based on your own personal knowledge, who was sitting in that seat at the time of this homicide?
That would be Mr. Timmons.
Okay. And how can you say that?
Can we approach? Sure.
YNW Melly standing, smirking, even though his faith is in the jury when it comes down to the death penalty. The law went into effect today. YNW Melly, only 8 out of 12 could put you in a body bag. And this is the state best witness And I'm zooming in on this because this witness is taking his time and he's dissecting. He fumbled along the way, but he's still dissecting. What say you, folks? I think, man, YNW Melly either could get an acquittal or this witness could put him away for DeSantis. Let's just say that. What say you, folks? For real, what say you? Leave your comments because I'd like to know. We're going to continue on.
The outline of buttocks, you have where the leg separation is. So there is somebody seated here, and then again, this whole entire seat has no blood on it. Where this area along here all has blood on it. So this void is indicative of an individual seated in this position.
So, in terms of the seat that we're looking at right here, remind the ladies and gentlemen of the jury which seat in the car this was.
This is the driver's side back passenger seat.
Did you also do this same, also processed in the same way?
Correct.
Okay. This photo of 4865, was this all done on the same day?
Yes.
And 4866?
Door in the open position.
Okay. So going forward to the next image, which is 4870, would you give a range as to how far away his muzzle would have been from the suit?
The range that I would give to that would be 8 to 12 inches.
And without the actual firearm that caused that wound, could you do a recreation?
I could not, but again, like I said earlier, this is a unique case where our shooting is confined to a known area with known confinement measurements, and it can be deduced.
Okay, so I want to go to what's been previously in evidence as states 30. On the photographs, we talked about the site K and the strike mark across the car. I wanted to go through, this is photo DSC 0403, DSC 0404, and DSC 0408. You were describing the speaker and things. Is this what you were talking about?
Correct. So if this door, the driver's side passenger door, was in a closed position during the shooting on the passenger side of the vehicle, I would expect to see this projectile strike mark to be in the speaker. So that is indicative of the door being in an open position during the shooting on the passenger side of the vehicle.
Yes, folks, this is the state best witness, in my opinion, so far. So now here comes the cross-examination by YNW Melly's attorneys. Take a listen, folks.
You were initially asked to get involved in this investigation in November of 2021.
Correct.
More than 3 years after the actual incident, right?
Yes.
And your initial understanding was that your primary purpose, or at least one of them, was to disprove the notion that there was a drive-by shooting.
Not necessarily disprove it, just to determine if it was a drive-by shooting.
Okay. And you are aware that the person that claimed it was a drive-by shooting is Cortland Henry.
I believe so. I don't know who said that it was a drive-by. I was just asked to say if it was a drive-by.
Okay. And you are aware that when Cortland Henry made his statement, that this gentleman was nowhere around, right?
I wasn't part of the initial investigation, So I don't know if that was included in the Miramar's investigation with that.
Okay. But what you were saying is whoever claimed it was a drive-by shooting was lying.
Was incorrect.
Okay. Not necessarily lying, mistaken maybe?
But if you want to call him a liar, yeah.
I do.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you had also indicated to us, we had a little demonstration with some cheers. And I want to start off there. You had indicated that you were of the understanding that there was some blood on Cortland Henry's shirt, right?
Correct.
Cortland Henry, who you understood to be the driver.
Correct.
And there was some blood on the front of his shirt, and there was some blood on the back.
Yes.
And during your testimony, you sat in what would be the driver's seat, right?
Yes.
Now tell me something. Do you know what kind of firearm was used?
No.
What caliber?
40.
40 caliber?
Yes.
If a 40 caliber is fired inside a vehicle, will it make a noise?
Yes.
Will it make a loud noise?
Yes.
Okay. And your testimony was that Cortland Henry was sitting here, sitting in his seat, right?
Yes.
Based upon your reconstruction, there was blood spatter that hit the front of his shoulder, and I think your words were, and he was sitting still and not moving, and there was also blood spatter that hit the back of his shirt.
Yes.
Okay, so with a 40 caliber blasting in that car, you're saying that based upon your analysis, Cortland Henry was sitting still and not budging. That would be your analysis, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you also indicated that Christopher Thomas, who you believe to have been sitting in the rear passenger seat, had a defensive wound
Yes.
in his hands.
In one of his hands.
In his left hand.
Correct.
There was a gunshot wound,
Yes.
and that he was shot from 8 to 12 inches away.
For the cheek.
Okay. So, well, whoever was shooting at him when he had his hands up would have been a pretty bad shot to miss him from 12 inches away and hit his hand.
Well, it didn't say that he was 12 inches away during that shot. State never asked the distance for that shot. State only asked the distance for the cheek.
Okay. Well, you had indicated in your report that you took account of the width of the cabin of that vehicle.
Yes.
What was it?
50.
Feel free to look at your report.
I
don't want to. It's not a
I
big
think
question.
it's in my.
Folks, this case is getting spookier and spookier with the cross-examination with YNW Melly's lawyer. But this witness that I'm telling you, the state have, no matter what he does, you can't ravel this witness up. This is the strongest witness I've seen so far in the YNW Melly's case. And folks, let me tell you, if it's not a conviction, it's an acquittal.
50.5 inches.
You know?
50.5 inches.
You got the answer.
And give us an estimation of what, well, not an estimation, a calculation of what that would be in feet and inches. So that we can have a better.
So 4 feet, 2.5 inches.
4 feet, 2.5 inches.
Yes.
Okay. So the entire inside cabin rear of that vehicle is less than 5 feet wide.
Yes.
4 feet, 2.5 inches, almost 4 feet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you were saying that there was a shot. How broad was the width of Christopher Thomas's shoulders? You indicated that as well.
It was.
Chronic Pain, Inner Demon, folks. This is live cross-examination. You know what I'm saying? If you want to see more, you can see a lot more on YouTube. But I thank you for your support. Once again, Chronic Pain, Inner Demon. Like, share, subscribe to the machine. One love, everybody. Peace. Good luck to you all in the summer. Blessings.